Oh, wrong character for this. I guess you're expecting me to say something like, "Oh, it's over, not..." No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that much of a... "Isn't this Domo-kun rather cute?" Remember when Domo was like really huge and everywhere was trying to sell stuff of him? I remember Target sold tons of Domo stuff and it was really weird. Why did that stop? Domo's great, bring him back. Hashtag save Domo. Welcome back to Weeaboo Wednesdays. It's been a whole week since I've talked to you guys about all kinds of anime news and other crap, but here we are again to do it all over. So let's begin, because there's a lot this week. The first thing I want to talk about is Caravan Stories. Originally this was a PC and mobile game that launched in Japan some time ago, but it's going to be getting an adaptation for PS4. From the trailer we can see it's a fantasy-oriented game. You can create a character of 6 different races, and there's an additional 100+ characters that you can play as well. All these different stories that have their own side quests and whatnot that tie together into a larger story. What really excites me about this is it gives me vibes of Radiata stories, which, while it wasn't the best game, really was exciting for me at the time because I bought it in high school when it came out along with some friends and we completely obsessed over it. So definitely check this one out when it comes out. Viz Media has acquired the license for the Persona 5 manga. It's a bit late and it'll be even later before it comes out, but you can expect this to hit in the winter of 2020. So, you have time to beat the game. On to Gundam news. Gundam is collaborating with everybody. Last week we talked about Hello Kitty. This week we're talking about baseball. Japanese people love baseball. And of course they also love Gundam, so why not mesh the two together, yeah? Everybody knows Char, the original antagonist from the original Gundam series. Well, the Hiroshima Toyo Carp have lent the likeness of their mascot to be combined with Char. What we get is an adorable amalgam of the two, and thus it's been slapped on some merch along with a Gundam hitting a baseball in outer space, so go buy it up while you can. Look how cute Char is. I bet he would still lose to Amuro in baseball, though. Gundam teamed up with Georgia Coffee to create these Gundam-themed coffee cans. Despite the name, the coffee cans will only be distributed in Japan. But if you happen to be in Japan, in Shibuya, there will be a Gundam vending machine that dispenses the Georgia Coffee with the Gundam-themed cans. So if you can, go grab me the Char Zaku 2 can. I would like that a lot. Somebody in California was selling a 20-foot fiberglass green Zaku statue. It was displayed in 2 pieces in the picture, and it was also missing a hand, but the person still wanted $6,000 for the statue. They claim that the statue was originally displayed outside the Bandai Namco headquarters in California. The ad's gone now, so I'm assuming someone either bought it, or maybe Bandai Namco sent the goons in to retrieve their statue. That's it for Gundam news. That hat was making me too warm. Shonen Jump's weekly magazine circulation reached 1.74 million in 2018. That's huge. Imagine if in America, a magazine pertaining to anime, or more obscurely even manga, was that big in circulation. For comparison, I looked up some other American publications that have high grossing amount. Comparatively, that's higher than Playboy at 1.62 million or something along those lines, and actually right around the same place as Entertainment Weekly at 1.78 million, I believe. It just goes to show you how much deeper manga and anime are ingrained in Japanese culture and society than they are over here in the West. Speaking of Shonen Jump, they have a competitor called Weekly Shonen Magazine. The respective company Shueisha is teaming up with Kodansha, who produces the Weekly Shonen Jump, and they're creating a massive commemorative edition. And it shall be dubbed Shonen Jumaga Gakuen Special Commemorative Edition, or something like that. This thing is going to be 2,200 plus pages of Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, One Piece, all the other shonen stuff that goes out week to week will be compiled together along with a ton of other stuff and put together in this giant book that will probably break your bookshelf. Joker is finally in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's taken quite some time since the game's release, but sure enough, the protagonist from Persona 5 has joined the rosters of Smash Bros. Despite the game not actually being on any Nintendo console. though that could potentially change. Either way, it's really weird to see Joker in such high-res, super polished models, because in Persona 5, he's rather low poly and just cel-shaded. But either way, he looks great, he plays really cool, he brings Arsene along with him, and his stage is absolutely gorgeous. So go get him, and have a gunfight with Snake. This one's a little dumb, but Right Stuff no longer has the license for the anime Cat's Eye. Hopefully that'll get picked back up so it can be redistributed in Blu-ray, because that opening needs to be in high def, baby. Let me just give you a little piece of that right now. This makes me really happy. Chrono Trigger was named the best video game of the Heisei era, capitalizing off of all the buzz that's coming around with Reiwa being the new era in Japan. Famitsu decided to hold a poll and allow people to submit what they think the best game has been in the past so many years. And sure enough, Chrono Trigger, of all games, got first place with something like 230 votes, which was followed by Breath of the Wild in second place and Nier Automata in third place. So I think that's pretty big because, you know, Chrono Trigger is like 20-something years old, and that game is just, ooh, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. Go play it. Eiichiro Oda is the creator of One Piece, and back in 2018, he donated 800 million yen to the Kumamoto Prefecture to help with disaster relief because of the earthquakes that ravaged the land. A contribution like that was incredibly helpful to the land of which raised him. That's where he was from. Now, in order to honor and thank him, the government decided that they wanted to put statues of One Piece characters all over the Kumamoto Prefecture. 8 statues in total are going to be going up by the end of 2020. The first 4 are going to be coming out this year. The first 4 have already been said to cost something like 10 million yen on their own. So in total, we can imagine 20 million yen to put all the statues out. The sites have been selected, and we now know which characters will be going up and where they'll be, but we are not sure of which order they will be coming out. But hopefully that means Nami will be coming out sooner rather than later, so we can check her out, if you know what I'm saying. If you like Japanese music, make sure to go check out the music video for a song called This World to You by Eve. It's a nice, calm little song with a really interesting anime music video, which was actually directed by the same director of the movie Your Name. And the character design was handled by someone who worked on Osamatsu-san, so link's going to be in the description. Speaking of music, Netflix has announced that they're going to be putting Utada Hikaru's Laughter in the Dark concert onto its streaming service. It'll be the last concert in the tour, so I'm assuming probably a very grandiose and amazing show from Hiki. Remember the Joey Wheeler face meme? Well, the animation director of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has confirmed that the face was inspired by the professional wrestler Antonio Inoki. Why does wrestling always come up? Twitter user Yami Artio, or Arsho, reached out, and yes, it was confirmed directly on Twitter that this was the case. Though back in 2012, Takahiro Kagami confirmed before that this was the case. He said, well, Joey Wheeler seems like a hothead, older brother type of character, and thus he's probably into martial arts, and he's probably also into wrestling. And if he's into wrestling, he probably liked Inoki. And I'm just like, that's one hell of a way to correlate that face being on that character, but, you know, to each their own. Midu Tights is the name of an upcoming anime that will be featured on Nico Nico and YouTube. It's going to air throughout May, with new episodes coming out, I believe, every Saturday. From what I can gather, Midu Tights means to look at or to see tights, which of course are the things that women wear on their legs. And all I can really gather is that the show is about girls who wear tights. That's some good plot right there, boy. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord. Is a really weird thing to say, but it's even weirder as the title of an upcoming summer anime. From what I can gather, it is a fantasy-oriented anime about some guy protecting his child in the fantasy world. And of course, whenever you have a pure, innocent anime child who needs protecting, the anime becomes an instant success, so looking forward to that. It's actually a visual novel adaptation, and the trailer that's up here is the new one that just aired recently. Tokyo Ghoul creator Sui Ishida is creating a game. It's actually a Switch game, stated to come out in 2020, and it's called Jack Jean. And so far all we have are really character reveals and some art and a title, but the trailer, of course, sort of just flashes some text and the characters. But either way, it's said to combine rhythm game elements with visual novel elements, so we'll see how that works. I mean, it might be worth a shot. Doraemon Nobito no Bokujo Monogatari is actually a game that's going to be coming out in the United States. If you don't speak Japanese, the title translates to Doraemon Story of Seasons. And if you're not familiar, Story of Seasons is basically Harvest Moon now, since Natsume basically completely ran Harvest Moon into the ground without the same people working on it. And the company working on Story of Seasons is basically the old Harvest Moon team. But yes, this game will see a full English release on the Nintendo Switch in fall, so I'm really looking forward to that. Gotta thank Bandai Namco for releasing the hot titles. The creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, is working on a new manga that's inspired by cybernetic samurai. It's going to be called Samurai 8, and the name is a reference to the legendary Samurai 7. It's a weird-looking blend of sci-fi and Japanese samurai culture, which is going to be coming out in May in Shonen Jump, so we can expect to see that soon, and hopefully some translations will come our way here in the States. Kishimoto said that they really want to make something that's more interesting than Naruto, so it's interesting to see them take on samurai rather than ninja as they did in the past. I may actually have to check that out. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, is turning 35 years old, and thus Fathom Events will be hosting this in theaters. Like the many other anime movies that they've premiered, this will show for 2 nights, May 20th and 21st, so if you want to go see it, check the website and see if a theater near you is going to be showing it. Sing Yesterday for Me is being adapted into an anime. If you're unfamiliar, this is a manga that ran from 1998 to 2015. It's an interesting little story about a convenience store worker who's incredibly lethargic and just doesn't care about life, who happens to run into his ex-girlfriend and classmate, who is now a dropout and has a pet raven. And of course, because of this colliding, drama will ensue. So, keep an eye out for that. And other than that, I don't have much else to say. That was a lot, I know. I don't have a box this week to open, but I did just pay for an order, so a package should be coming within the next week or week and a half, hopefully, so keep your eyes open for that. However, I do have a ton of figures that I want to review, and I even have some footage that I shot a long time ago on my iPhone that I'm splicing together into a review and unboxing. So this is the series premiere upcoming of Figure Fridays, because why not? I wanted to do one last week, but I got really sick, so forgive me for that. Gomenasai, gomenasai. And this will be the first figure that we actually open on Figure Friday. This is the Polynean, let's let that focus. This is the first Polynean figure, Clover, and she is actually the updated version. They re-released her. She's not in the box. Why? I wonder, because the video's already been made. So, keep your eyes open for that, and if you want to talk about things in the comments, let me know. I love you so much for coming, and please come back and tell your friends that Weeb Wednesday is the best way to consume anime and Japanese news. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.
What are you talking about, Kakarot? I don't want to see your feet. They're beautiful.